The mountain beyond the village. In a quiet village surrounded by green fields and rivers, there lived a boy named Armin. He was known as a dreamer. While other children spent their evenings playing games, Armin would sit near the river and stare at the giant mountain standing far beyond the village. The mountain was famous for its dangerous paths, freezing winds, and steep rocks. Villagers believed nobody could reach its peak. Many people had tried before, but most returned halfway, tired and frightened. Whenever Armin talked about climbing the mountain, people laughed. "You are too weak," some said. "You should stop dreaming and live a normal life," others told him. But deep inside, Armin believed the mountain was not impossible. He thought the real problem was fear. Armin came from a poor family. His father worked hard every day, and his mother stitched clothes to earn money. Even though life was difficult, his parents always taught him one thing. Hard work and patience can take a person farther than talent alone. One winter morning, Armin decided he would begin preparing for the climb. He knew success would not come quickly. So he trained himself every single day. He woke up before sunrise, ran through muddy roads, carried heavy bags to build strength, and learned survival skills from an old traveler who once crossed dangerous forests. At first, he failed badly. Sometimes he became exhausted after a short distance. Sometimes he slipped while climbing rocks. His hands got injured, and many nights he returned home disappointed. The villagers laughed even more. "Look at him," they said. "He cannot even climb small hills, and he wants to conquer the great mountain." Those words hurt Armin deeply, but he remained silent. Instead of arguing, he continued practicing. Years passed slowly. Armin became stronger, not only physically, but mentally. He learned how to stay calm during storms, how to survive hunger, and how to keep moving even when his body wanted to quit. Finally, the day arrived. Armin packed a small bag with food, water, and a notebook his mother had given him. On the first page she had written, "Whenever you feel weak, remember why you started." As Armin began his journey, the villagers gathered around to watch. Most of them expected him to fail like everyone else. The climb was harder than he imagined. The lower paths were filled with loose stones. The higher areas became freezing cold. Strong winds pushed against him as if the mountain itself wanted him to return. After several days, Armin reached a dangerous cliff. One wrong step could send him falling into darkness below. Fear entered his heart for the first time. He sat down and thought, "Maybe the villagers were right. Maybe I am not strong enough." For a moment, he wanted to give up. Then he opened his mother's notebook. "Remember why you started." Armin closed his eyes and remembered his childhood dreams, his parents' sacrifices, and all the years he had spent preparing. He realized that success was not only about reaching the top. It was about refusing to surrender, so he stood up again. Step by step, he continued climbing. The storm became stronger. Snow covered the path. His hands trembled from cold, and his food began to run out. But every time he felt hopeless, he reminded himself, "One more step." At sunrise on the 7th day, Armin finally reached the peak. For the first time in his life, he stood above the clouds. The rivers looked like silver lines, and the village appeared tiny below him. Tears filled his eyes. Not because he conquered the mountain, but because he conquered his fear. When Armin returned home, the villagers were shocked. The same people who once laughed at him now welcomed him with respect. A young boy from the crowd asked, "How did you do something nobody else could?" Armin smiled and replied, "The mountain was never the biggest obstacle. Fear and doubt were." From that day on, Armin became a symbol of hope in the village. People no longer remembered him as the weak dreamer. They remembered him as the boy who proved that determination can achieve what fear says is impossible. Moral: great success is achieved by people who continue moving forward even when the journey becomes difficult.